What I will tell you now might shock you, but did you know that despite being the world's largest island, with an area larger than Texas and California combined, Greenland is home to a population of less than 60,000. That makes it the country with the lowest population density in the world. Why is this massive landmass so sparsely populated? In this video, we will explore the reasons behind it, and you'll discover why Greenland doesn't live up to its name. Nestled between the Arctic and North Atlantic Oceans, Greenland is the world's biggest island, a land of dramatic contrasts. It's around 836,330 square miles. You can consider it a place where jagged, snow-capped mountains hug the coast, their reflections shimmering in deep fjords, icy claws reaching inland. But that's not the whole story. A good chunk of Greenland, around 80%, is empty. Yes, Greenland might be huge, but it's not exactly teeming with folks. It's one of the least densely populated places on Earth. To give you an idea, the estimated population in 2017 was around 56,480. That's like having a small-town vibe spread out over a landmass the size of, well, Greenland. But how come such a beautiful place lacks life? The first and foremost factor we have to discuss here is Greenland's history, which is also indirectly connected with our next factor. This massive island, smack-dabbed between the chilly Arctic Ocean and the bustling North Atlantic, has a history as intriguing as its icy landscapes. Way back, before Instagram and smartphones, the Paleo-Eskimos, also known as the Sac, were the original inhabitants of Greenland. Around 2500 before Christ, they braved the icy waters and set foot near what we now call Disco Bay. Following their lead, the Dorset folks showed up around 800 before Christ, followed by the Thule culture around 1 AD. These guys were tough cookies, hunting seals and whales like it was their day job and navigating the icy terrain with sleds and kayaks. Fast forward to the Viking Age, and here comes Eric the Red, an Icelandic murderer. Legend has it he got banished from Iceland, so he set sail westward and stumbled upon Greenland in 982 AD. It's said that he named the island Greenland in hopes of attracting settlers, despite the fact that Greenland was actually quite green more than 2.5 million years ago. He must have been pretty impressed because he convinced his buddies to come along and set up shop. And just like that, the eastern and western settlements were born, bustling with farming, hunting, and trading ivory from walrus tusks. But like all good stories, there's a twist. The 1400s, a cooling period in the North Atlantic known as the Little Ice Age, made life even more challenging for the Norse. Farming became increasingly difficult, and resources became scarcer. And then, Norse settlers mysteriously disappeared. Some say it was climate change, others blame it on feuds with the Inuit, but they were out there. And that left the Inuit folks back in charge, ruling the roost again. Come the 1600s, and it was Denmark's turn to get in on the action. The kings of Denmark and Norway decided Greenland looked pretty cool and sent expeditions to claim it for the crown. From then on, it was all about the fur trade and whaling for the Europeans. In the 18th century, Denmark claimed sovereignty over Greenland, a claim formalized in 1933. This colonial period saw limited attempts at resource extraction, with some success in fishing and limited mining ventures. Greenland gained home rule from Denmark in 1979, with increasing autonomy over its internal affairs. While it hasn't led to a population boom, it has built up a growing sense of self-determination among the Inuit population. Next, we have the geography, the main reason Greenland is partially inhabited. And out of these, the most prominent geographical factor is, unsurprisingly, the Greenland ice sheet. Large and heavy, it greatly affects the island's landscape. Massive pressure from the ice sheet pushes the bedrock below down, which moves the island downwards. All of this means that most of Greenland's land is below sea level. Only the coastal fringes, where the ice sheet thins out, rise above the icy grip, creating a narrow band of habitable land. This fringe, averaging just 93 miles in width, is where Greenland's population resides. And what about the ice-free land? It has its own mystery. Now, the most direct impact is the sheer amount of space the ice sheet occupies. With 84% of Greenland buried beneath ice, there's simply very little land suitable for human habitation. It restricts potential settlements to the narrow, ice-free coastal fringe, a tiny fraction of the island's total area. The rugged climate of Greenland is greatly influenced by its geographical position. It is right in the Arctic Circle, so it has long, cold winters with months of no sun. The yearly average temperature drops to -24 degrees Fahrenheit, making living in a comfortable environment impossible. In addition, the bone-chilling cold is made even worse by the strong winds that come off the North Atlantic Ocean. The harsh conditions, including very low temperatures and strong winds, make living hard for most plants and animals. The Greenland ice sheet's immense weight doesn't just depress the land, it also shapes the island's topography. As the ice sheet flows towards the coast, it carves massive fjords, long, narrow inlets etched by glacial movement. These fjords can be hundreds of miles long and deep, creating a dramatic and visually stunning landscape. However, from a habitation standpoint, they have to face significant challenges. The steep cliffs and treacherous glacial ice make building infrastructure and establishing settlements near fjords challenging. Tundra, a vast, treeless plain, dominates the limited ice-free land in Greenland. While the brief Arctic summer brings a surge of wildflowers and low-lying shrubs, the harsh climate restricts plant growth. This lack of vegetation makes agriculture nearly impossible, limiting the potential food sources for large-scale populations. The permafrost, permanently frozen ground beneath the surface, further restricts development, making construction and resource extraction challenging. Greenland's geographical position also affects its precipitation patterns. The cold temperatures result in low precipitation levels, with most of it falling as snow. This snow accumulates over time, adding mass to the already enormous ice sheet. The irony is that while the vast ice sheet holds a massive amount of fresh water, the lack of liquid precipitation throughout most of the year makes obtaining readily accessible water challenging for settlements. Greenland's economy primarily focuses on fishing, tourism, and limited resource extraction. While these sectors provide some jobs, they don't offer the diverse range of employment opportunities found in more developed nations. It's all about trying to find a wide range of career options in a place where most jobs involve battling the elements. Moreover, living in Greenland is expensive. The harsh environment necessitates importing many essential goods and increasing prices for food, clothing, and other necessities. It can be an important challenge for potential residents, especially those with limited resources. And while Greenland offers healthcare and education systems, access and quality may not be on par with those of more developed countries. There is a critical shortage of medical specialists, particularly in areas like oncology, cardiology, and neurology. For complex medical issues, residents may need to travel to Denmark for treatment, adding significant logistical and emotional strain. Greenland imports most of its medical supplies, making the healthcare system vulnerable to disruptions in global supply chains or price fluctuations. Now, you may be shocked to learn all this about Greenland, but we bet you'll be more shocked to learn the reasons why also Canada is 80% uninhabited. Getting excited? Go watch this video on our channel.